Counterpoint, the general knowledge music quiz, chaired by Paul Gambaccini.
Hello. You join us once again in the north of England at the BBC studios in Salford for the 9th and last of our 2022 Counterpoint heats. In half an hour's time, we'll know who's taking the one remaining place in the semi-finals in this BBC centenary year. We have a small but beautifully formed, socially distanced audience supporting our three music lovers today. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Darren Dutton. I'm originally from Blackpool. And the first record that I ever bought was When We Was Fab by George Harrison.
Hello, I'm Mohan Mudigonda. I live in Wolverhampton, and the first record I ever bought was the album Verses by Pearl Jam.
Hi, I'm Joanna Munro. I come from Liverpool, and the first record I ever bought was Ooh Ah Just a Little Bit by Gina G.
Welcome, all three of you. A quick reminder of the rules. In the opening round, I ask you musical general knowledge questions in turn for 2 points apiece. If you can't get the right answer to your own question, it will pass to the others for a possible bonus point. To borrow a line from Low Rider by War, take a little trip with me. We start with the first question for you, Darren Dutton. The soundtrack to the 2022 Marvel film Morbius makes use of a famous work by Beethoven, a solo piano piece written in 1810, but only discovered 40 years after his death. The piece may be termed Bagatelle Number 25, but what's its more common name?
Fiorelisa?
That's right. Mohan Mudigonda, we stay with movies for your first musical excerpt. Here's Waltz Number 2 from Shostakovich's Jazz Suite, which features on the soundtrack of Stanley Kubrick's last ever picture. After you've heard it, I'd like you to name that film.
That was from Eyes Wide Shut.
It was indeed, and you get 2 points. Joanna Munro, 2022 is the centenary of the birth of an actress and dancer who performed with Fred Astaire in the musical Silk Stockings, with Gene Kelly in Singin' in the Rain, and in her later career in a Janet Jackson pop video. Who is she?
Sid Charisse?
That's right, for 2 points. Darren, music for you now. The song Smile, dating back to the 1930s, has been covered many times. This recent version is by an American singer from the album Nat King Cole and Me. I'd like you to identify him and name the song's composer.
That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
The song was written by Charlie Chaplin.
Correct?
I can see his face. I just can't remember his name.
Can you see his hat?
Yep.
Oh, that means you almost got there, but we're going to pass it over to Mohan.
Is it John Legend?
Oh, no, it's not John Legend. Joanna.
That Harry Connick Jr.?
Oh, no, it's Gregory Porter. But, Darren, you do get 1 point for the Chaplain. Mohan, I'm not sure how much there is to smile about in the lyrics to R.E.M's 1987 single, It's the End of the World as We Know It. However, there is reference to a quartet of varied individuals, all with the initials L.B. Can you name any two?
Lyndon Johnson is one. Lyndon Baines Johnson.
You're reaching. You are reaching.
Larry Bird?
No, basketball player, folks. No, I think we're reaching there. Anyone have an idea on two of the LBs? We were looking for Leonard Bernstein, Leonid Brezhnev, Lenny Bruce, and Lester Bangs. Joanna, more music now. In this Puccini opera, the painter Mario Cavaradossi is working on a portrait of a biblical figure. In this aria, Recondita Armonia, he sings of the hidden harmony between the beauty of his lover and the woman he's painting. After you've heard it, I'd like you to tell me who these two women are.
The opera is Tosca. Is he painting Mary? Mary Magdalene?
Yes, that's right. You get the point. Darren Dutton. The cover of the Genesis album, Selling England by the Pound, features a painting by Betty Swanwick. One of the album's highlights is a long song based on a gangland dispute in an ancient English woodland. What's its title?
No idea.
Does anyone know the name of that conflict? The Battle of Epping Forest? Mohan, the German composer Ramin Djawadi, has scored music for plenty of fight scenes on screen, including Game of Thrones and the 2008 movie Iron Man. His soundtrack to the HBO sci-fi series Westworld features several instrumental interpretations of classic rock and pop music. Which band and which song is being reimagined here?
With a huge sigh of relief, I will say No Surprises by Radiohead.
And with a huge sigh of relief, I'll say 2 points. Well done. Joanna, it may be a surprise to realize that between 1978 and 1999, Blondie had 5 top 10 hits with songs with one-word titles. Can you name any 2?
Maria and Denise.
Yeah. Maria and Denis, which was a remake of Denise by Randy and the Rainbows. You also could have mentioned Dreaming, Atomic, or Rupture. 2 points. Darren Dutton. 2022 marks the 80th anniversary of the release of a renowned jazz standard. It was composed by Dizzy Gillespie and originally named Interlude. Here's the version by Charlie Parker and Miles Davis, which made the tune famous under which definitive name?
Is it Round Midnight?
I'm sorry, it's not. Does anyone else know the title of that? That was A Night in Tunisia. Mohan Mudigonda, with 1990s hits including Life Ain't Easy, I Want You Back, and A Touch of Love, which female group share their name with the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt.
Cleopatra.
Exactly, for 2 points. Joanna Munro. Our international tour moves from Tunisia via Egypt and now finally to Germany. This piece of music is known as the Canon Song. It has words by Bertolt Brecht, although we don't hear them in this version. But can you name the composer and the work it's taken from?
That's Kurt Weill and the Threepenny Opera.
That's right, for 2 points. Time to salute the scores after the opening round. In third place with 3 points, it's Darren Dutton. Lying second with 6 points, it's Mohan Mudigonda. And in the lead with 8 points, it's Joanna Munro. In our second round, our competitors take their turns in the spotlight, each answering individual questions on a musical category or theme. There are 5 topics to choose from. This is the first time our competitors are hearing them. Are you ready, everyone? Let me reveal today's choices. Make the Connection, The Infinite Music Cage, A Trivial Pursuit Board, A History of the World in Musical Objects, and Myths, Monsters, and Music. You choose in the order of your scores so far. So, Joanna, you are in the lead. What would you like?
Can I have a Trivial Pursuit board?
You may indeed. And for you, Mohan?
I'll go for Make a Connection, please.
Yes, that leaves 3 for Darren. They are The Infinite Music Cage, A History of the World in Musical Objects, and Myths, Monsters, and Music.
The history one, please.
We start with you, Darren Dutton, and your questions on A History of the World in Musical Objects. The earliest musical instrument ever found dates back more than 35,000 years to Paleolithic times. Made from bone, it has holes and produces sounds from the flow of air across an opening. What kind of instrument is it?
A flute?
Yes! 2022 marks the 100th anniversary of archaeologist Howard Carter's discovery of a pair of trumpets at an ancient Egyptian burial site. Believed to be the oldest playable trumpets in the world, they were played on BBC Radio in 1939 before a live audience. After you've heard the broadcast, I'd like you to tell me whose tomb they were found in.
And now the 2 trumpets will be blown by bandsman James Tapper, who is here by permission of the Colonel and officers of the 11th Prince Albert's Own Hussars.
Tutankhamun?
That's right. They were from the tomb of Tutankhamun. An estimated 150 million people listened to that broadcast. Sadly, Howard Carter was not among them. He had died just a month earlier. After it was created and patented by Emil Berliner in 1887, Columbia, Regal, Alba, and Mayfair all became makers of what device?
Gramophone?
Yes. Music now to accompany the Apsara dance, which, according to carvings found at the Sambor Pre-Cook archaeological site, dates back to the 7th century. Still performed today, the graceful, sinuous gestures of movement narrate classical myths or religious stories. I'd like you to tell me in which kingdom you'll find the dancing etched into the walls of ancient temples.
No, pass.
The Apsara dance carvings were found in Cambodia. The origins of the musical instrument called the carillon can be traced back to the 16th century. What type of instrument is it?
The drum?
No, I'm afraid that's not substantial enough, really. It's a pitched percussion instrument played with a keyboard. It consists of at least 23 cast bronze bells. Music now. Let's see if Billy Joel's My Life rings a bell. A question will follow.
Got a call from an old friend, we used to be real close. Said he couldn't go on the American way. Closed the shop, sold the house, bought a ticket
2022 is the 40th anniversary of the first commercial CD release. It was Billy Joel's album 52nd Street, featuring My Life, that bore the first catalog number. It hit the shelves in October 1982. In which country?
USA?
No, I'm sorry, it was Japan. Finally, in this round, in an episode of Radio 4's A History of the World in 100 Objects, presenter Neil McGregor examines gold coins from a period of ancient Indian history from around 320 to 550 A.D. Many historians call this a golden age of cultural development in India, with advances in music, dance, and related cultural arts. What is the name of this era?
Aztecs?
I'm sorry, it's the Gupta Empire.
Of course.
And the history of that round was that you scored 6 points, added to your previous 3. You now have 9 points. Mohan Mudigonda, let's see if you can make the connection. What links the Euphrates and Tigris with a 1978 hit song by Boney M?
Babylon.
Correct. And what features are
Sorry,
they?
the rivers
That's
of Babylon.
right. Listen carefully, then tell me what connects the following 2 pieces of music.
So the only thing that comes to mind is that they were both composed by people with the surname Jarre.
Yes, and what relationship do you
So
think?
they're father and son?
That is correct.
Is it
Lawrence.
Maurice Jarre and Jean-Michel?
2 points. Which mountain range connects songs by Laurel and Hardy, John Denver, and Fleet Foxes?
Is it the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia?
That is correct. They are mentioned in The Trail of the Lonesome Pine by Laurel and Hardy, Country Roads by John Denver, and Blue Ridge Mountains by Fleet Foxes. Let's hear a clip of The Doors, and afterwards I'd like you to tell me what connects their lead singer, Jim Morrison, with Chopin and Edith Piaf.
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange.
Is it that they're all buried in the same cemetery in Paris?
That is correct. Père Lachaise, the world's greatest celebrity cemetery. Well worth a tour. In terms of song lyrics, what connects the songs Hold On Tight by ELO, Lady Marmalade by LaBelle, and Bad Romance by Lady Gaga?
Is it that they've all got French lyrics in there somewhere?
Oh, yes.
Oh, phew.
Well done for 2 points. The following piece of music has a connection with the tracks Yellow Pearl, The Wizard, and Whole Lotta Love. What is it?
So they've all been the theme tune to Top of the Pops.
That is correct for 2 points. And finally in this round, what is the specific connection between the following operas? Prince Igor by Borodin, The Emerald Isle by Arthur Sullivan, Lulu by Alban Berg, and Kovenskina by Mussorgsky.
I don't know. They're all set in Russia.
No, I'm sorry to say they were all left unfinished. They were eventually completed by other composers. Mohan, you almost scored a perfect round. You got 12 points added to your previous 6. You now have 18 points. Joanna, let's look at that Trivial Pursuit board. You start the game with the roll of the dice. The number shown completes the title of a Marvin Gaye and Kim Weston song. It takes...
2.
That's right. Your playing piece has landed on the subject of geography. I'd like you to tell me which area of Britain is being celebrated here.
Fingal's Cave,
That's right. And do you know where Fingal's Cave is geographically?
somewhere in Scotland.
It's in the Hebrides. Yeah. The next dice roll takes you to sports and leisure. In football, the UEFA Champions League anthem, written by British composer Tony Britton in 1992, is based on which work by Handel?
Messiah?
No, it's Zadok the Priest. Music accompanies your next move onto arts and literature. I'd like you to name the British keyboardist taking us on a journey to the center of the earth and the author who influenced the work.
That's Rick Wakeman, inspired by Jules Verne.
That's correct for 2 points. Your next attempt at securing a wedge finds you on entertainment. Which entertainment venue located at the Rockefeller Center in New York City is nicknamed the showplace of the nation?
Is it the Lincoln Center?
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Radio City Music Hall. More music now as you land on science and nature. Here's George Fenton with the BBC Concert Orchestra performing the theme to which British nature documentary series that premiered in 2001?
Is it Blue Planet?
It is Blue Planet for 2 points. Your final subject in this round is history. In 1859, the Czech composer Smetana completed his symphonic poem Wallenstein's Camp. It was inspired by Friedrich Schiller's play about a long conflict fought largely within the Holy Roman Empire in the 17th century. How is that conflict commonly known?
Is it the 30 Years' War?
Your math is correct. It is the 30 Years' War. Nothing trivial about that performance. In that round, you scored 10 points. Added to your previous 8, you now have 18 points. After the individual round, here are the scores. Lying third with 9 points is Darren Dutton, and tied for the lead with 18 points each, Mohan Mudigonda and Joanna Munro. It's on the button in the quick-fire final round. Things can change quickly. A correct answer wins you 1 point, but you lose a point if you flash in and fail to answer correctly. There are no bonuses. Fingers poised, here we go. Which Oasis song begins with the lyrics, "Today is going to be the day," and Darren says...
Wonderwall.
He's right. Which European capital city is home to the prestigious musical school known as the Sibelius Academy? And Joanna says...
Helsinki.
For the point. Journey of the Sorcerer is the theme of which BBC radio comedy science fiction series by Douglas Adams? Mohan.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
You're right. Good news. She's dead are the first words heard in which musical? And Joanna says...
The Wizard of Oz.
Ooh, no. It's Wicked.
Oh, no.
-1. According to the Bob Marley song, who was fighting on arrival? Mohan.
Buffalo Soldiers.
Yes. Which Lee Morgan jazz composition shares its name with a heat-seeking missile and a type of rattlesnake? Jamie Cullum, where are you when we need you most? It's the Sidewinder. In music, what does the abbreviation OST stand for? And Darren says...
Ostinato?
No, it's original soundtrack. Words and Music is a series on which BBC radio network? And Joanna says...
Radio 3.
You're right. Red Right Hand, the theme music. Good heavens, Mo.
Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
That's right. In the song Dreadlock Holiday, which sport do 10cc love, Darren?
Cricket.
Yes. Which violinist competed for Thailand in alpine skiing? And Joanna says...
Vanessa May.
She's right. Released in 2021. Country Utes is the debut album of which record-breaking Jamaican sprinter? And Joanna says...
Usain Bolt.
For the point. Which composer's Symphony No. 35 is nicknamed the Hefner? And Darren says...
Mozart.
He's right. Which operatic term takes its name from a French word meaning opening? And Joanna says...
Overture.
Yes. Act 3 of Verdi's opera Aida is set along the banks of which river? And Joanna says...
The Nile.
She's right. Swanilda is the heroine of which ballet? It's Coppelia. Which musical features the sisters Zeitel, Hodel, and Chava? Joanna says...
Fiddler on the Roof.
Yes. Which music fans take their name from Germanic people who played a major role in the fall... And Mohan says...
The Goths.
He's right. And which long-running TV quiz concludes with the sound of a gong? Joanna says...
University Challenge.
She's right. There is the gong. And here are the final scores. Third, with 11 points, Darren Dutton. Second, with 22 points, Mohan Mudigonda. And our winner with 25 points is Joanna Munro. Congratulations, Joanna Munro. We'll be welcoming you back in a few weeks' time for the semifinal contest. Warm thanks to the other two of you, of course, for a most enjoyable and close show. The first of our 2022 semifinals comes from London next week. I sincerely hope you'll be able to join us. Until then, from all of us here in Salford, goodbye.